All right, here we are, ready for another roll reveal. This one's going to be number 722. 722 is a 1961D roll. I don't generally go through very many 1961D rolls, but once in a while, I like to do it just to keep practice and to be able to find some of the goodies there are out there. Here is my 1961D roll of the day. This one's actually a really nice looking roll on the end. So we will see what we have available in this guy. Hello to everybody out there. Notice that we have a bit of a crowd in here today, which is a great thing. Here is coin number 1. DC gets coin number 1. Let's get in here and see what he gets. And coin number 1. I'm going to lower my angle a little bit on these. Lowering my angle of light a little bit allows me to see more of the corners and edges of things that need to be viewed so that I can see if we have double dies, repunchment marks, or anything like that. Angle of lighting is very important when you're looking for die varieties. Got nothing on that coin. Excuse me. Now, coin number 2, Paul Hampton. Let's see what Paul Hampton gets. We have a really minor split lower serif there, as you can see. This one's a very late die state, going to be very difficult to be able to determine whether or not this one is listed and get a proper number on it. So I'm not going to promise anything. However, I'm going to set this off to the side and see if Eric and I can figure this one out. But you can see if I turn it just like that, you can see there is a split lower serif on this one. Hello, me. Is it me or is it you? That is the question. I'd like to see you around. I know that you have frequented Frosty's channel. I appreciate seeing you here. Let's go on to coin number 3 now, see what we see with coin number 3. Oh, I didn't mean for that to be a rhyme, but I like it nonetheless. That one also is a minor lower split serif RPM. We've got some markers on this that may help us in finding whether or not this one is already listed, so there is some promise anyhow. You can see that there's a whole bunch of die scratches on the back of the neck there. There's also a lot of north and south die scratches running through the area of the face, from the nose all the way up to the forehead, even down below the chin. So we'll see if we can find this one listed anywhere. Let's check for a double die reverse, perhaps, possibly, maybe. Yeah, too late die state to really tell if it's anything minor. It's definitely not anything major, so we can meet in the middle with this one. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the stack, not knowing whether or not we're going to actually be able to do anything with this one. But all right, here's one for Frosty. What does Frosty get? There's a dot down below the mint mark, but I don't think that has anything to do with the mint mark. So I don't see anything of remarkable action here. Let's check the reverse real quick, see if we have perhaps, maybe, a double die. Nothing. That is very possible. I have not checked email since I started working on the broadcasts, but I will check email. If you guys want a piece of this action, be able to get in on one of these rolls, we will be having a reveal show this evening. Reveal shows are where spots are sold in the rolls that we go through in the following week. We've got 7 rolls coming up this week, and I believe Eric will have a few. He'll let you know. Hello, Roy. Good day. Yeah, I don't check emails while I'm trying to broadcast. It just confuses me. Gets everything all discombobulated and all messed up. So I'll check for emails as soon as I get done. This is my last broadcasted roll for the day, so I'll let you know more about what's going on later. We do have a reveal show coming up at 7 p.m. this evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Adjust time zones as necessary for you. We will be selling spots in 7 rolls of mine for the following week, and Eric will be doing 3 or 4 rolls for the following week for next week. So we're going to get you guys involved in getting some good coins, see if we can find any die varieties for you and get them to you to add to your collection. See, there's another one right there. That is a minor, pretty minor upper split serif with a lower split serif, 1961D. This one's going to be a nightmare roll because these are going to be difficult to identify, but we have a few of them. So there is that. Coin number 6 is a nice little RPM. Now coin number 7. There will be 7 reveals in the hole tonight. But there's another split lower serif right there. But I will have a show a little bit later on after the reveal show. We will be doing a show where I will point out all the different things that I have found in this week's rolls that were express rolls. I was not able to do that for last week. 12 different die pairs that were varieties. 50S roll. Wow. That's a lot. That's a metric ton right there. Okay, what do we have on this coin? Nothing that I can readily spot. Nothing on the eye. Nothing in God we trust. Get this lighting adjusted just a little bit. There we go. That's a little harsh. To be a little harsh on the beeve there. Let's see if we can get this tuned up just a little bit here. There we go. How about that? That works. Okay. All right. How are we surviving out there without TikTok? Huh? Are we able to survive without TikTok? I haven't even noticed it was gone. So, when buying rolls, how do I come up with a price for the rolls? I use a percentage of, depending on the quality of the rolls and depending on the date and year of the rolls, whether or not they're easy or hard to find, I use a percentage of the dealer gray sheet value for Lincoln Cent rolls. That's how I do that. Oh, TikTok is back already. Trump saved it. Oh, good God. Okay, IT, I appreciate you. Tell your dad to get better soon, and we will be there for you this evening. So don't worry about it. Eric, make sure that you make a note of that so I don't forget it. We'll get her added in. Here is the next coin, number 10. This one's for Tripwit. And it looks odd. And we might have something here. We'll just have to wait and take a look at it. It kind of looks like we've got a swollen top and we have something on the bottom of this mint mark. So we're going to take a better look at it later on, let you know what we find. And now on to coin number 11. Sloppy stacks. Let's see what Sloppy gets. And do believe we have an RPM here. Looks like something above the D, making a little bit of an appearance. Possible RPM to the north. Nothing else on this one. Can't really expect much for double dies on 1961D. They just don't really seem to have them. Plenty of RPMs to know about, though. How many RPMs are there for 1961D now? There's over 100 known. I don't know how many over 100, but some number over 100 are known to date. This looks like a repeat of the same die we just had. Pete and repeat. Sitting on a fence. Pete falls off. Who's left? Repeat. Okay. It appears as though the overall scare tactic of the White Death we are awaiting has been relaxed to a certain degree. Now they call for a chance of accumulating snow. Let's see, the first news I heard about this particular storm was on a YouTube video of a supposed meteorologist who likes to make everything sound a lot more glorious than it is, telling people in eastern North Carolina to hunker down for 17 to 25 inches of snow. 17 to 25 inches of snow would simply paralyze this entire area of the state for weeks. So, as we sat here awaiting the arrival of this apocalyptic storm, 17 to 25 inches is what they had said in some of the YouTube videos, that they like to publish these videos and get a lot of clicks. Well, they do, because people actually want to see what these fools have to say. And over a relatively short period of time, they became, if you watch them over and over again, they become completely unbelievable, because all of their weather predictions are basically outside the scope of what normal people would think. You see, there's different runs. There's over 100 different model runs by computer of what they expect weather to do. And those model runs, some of them, because of the way they're programmed or because of the way they collect data, they are seen to be very outside the average, and which is known as an outlier. So when you actually forecast weather, you have to take a average of all of the different models and call that your forecast track. And a lot of people who make sense and do a good job did just that. They forecast some snow for this area, but not much. And it's turning out that as the storm develops and makes its turns, that will probably simply be the case in this area, where we might see a full inch of snow, and we might not. And I don't think, with the ground and weather as having been as warm as it has lately, I don't think we're going to have a very serious problem with an inch of snow. It'll be gone within 2 days. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Of course, they're telling us now on the weather to protect our people, our pets, and our pipes because of the cold air, not because of the snow. We don't generally get down to single digits and teens in this area very often at all. Not sure I've ever seen single digits in North Carolina, and I've lived here for 5 years. But we're watching for the possibility of maybe receiving some very cold and possibly snowy weather. And of course, everyone here is going ballistic. I feel like going over and taking pictures at the grocery store a little later on today just to show you how the bread shelf can clear off completely. Even the stale bread and the stuff nobody ever buys because it's too expensive, that's all going to be gone too. There are going to be people using brioche and Italian bread to try to make peanut butter sandwiches because any bread is better than none at all, right? And then when it actually comes and passes, the bread shelves will fill up and nobody will be buying bread for a while. And no need when you're paying $6 a loaf for bread and you get 6 loaves of Asiago flavored Italian bread and you end up making cinnamon toast with that. Num num. Delicious. Why don't people learn? Yeah, quit doing that crap. Try grilled peanut butter and cheddar. Yay. But hopefully we'll get into a position where this will be over with soon enough and we'll get back to our normal 40s and 50s for highs. That's our general January weather is a 50-degree high. So you can see what we're going through with forecast highs in the 20s. That's just a very cold day. You want your 80s back? What was that, the day before there was Asiago cheese and everybody waited on the wheat bread until it was the last bread left on the shelf and then it cleared off too. Biggest snowstorm I ever experienced in the South was in Memphis, Tennessee on January 3rd, 1986. The year I graduated high school. We ended up with about 25 inches of snow in Memphis, Tennessee that day. Me, how often do I do these roll searches? Well, these particular roll searches are called reveals. And people purchase the coins in these rolls. IT purchased the next one. And they are assigned completely randomly as I go through the rolls. The people who get that particular numbered coin get that coin. They receive it in the mail. It is theirs to keep. No strings, no pulled punches, no special prizes, no drawings. When you buy it, it's yours. We look through the roll carefully, checking for die varieties. If we find die varieties, we will attribute those die varieties. And you can add them to your collection with confidence that they have been properly identified. If they happen to be brand new varieties for the Copper Coins website, we will add them as new listing. And the best of those, however many I find in the roll, will be listed on Copper Coins with photographs, which will be credited to the person who purchased that coin. So if you purchase a coin in a roll and it happens to be a new variety and it happens to be the best one in the roll for that variety, we list that on Copper Coins and put you in the limelight because we photographed your coin. All coins that are die varieties get special note and they get identified on new flip inserts that will be included with the coin when you receive it. And that is the service that we provide to you by going through these rolls and pulling out anything that's special. We've not been through these rolls. We have no idea what's in them already. So whatever comes in them becomes yours regardless of good or bad. If you get coins that have Lincoln Cent die variety listings on them, and they do happen to be a plate coin, your flip insert will be hand-signed by the person who takes the photos of your coin, and you can send that flip insert with that coin after we publish that information on coppercoins.com to Annex. Annex will recognize the fact that your coin is a plate coin. if you submit it as such. And they will put that on their holder. When they put that on their holder, I have heard that they bring extra money. In fact, I pay extra money for those. And that's kind of how the game is played. Not really a game, but you understand what I'm saying. These shows, I've got 7 rolls coming up this next week. 3 of those are express rolls, which will not be published in a live video like this, but the other 4 will be. And those get scheduled through the week, and we come up on the air just like we are right now, and you get to watch them live. For the ones that are express rolls do not get broadcast live, I will do a live show where I go over the highlights and I cap off the search with images of some of the coins that have been found, announcements of who got what die varieties, and this, that, and the other. And we have a fun little show where we talk about it. Eric's going to be doing 3 rolls this week. I will be doing 7 total rolls this week, 4 of which will be live, 3 of which will be the express rolls. I believe it could be 3 and 4, could be 4 and 3. I'm not sure. Don't remember right now. Eric's doing a 1997 Philadelphia, trying to look for that double-deer obverse. 1944 Philadelphia, a number of things can be found in 44, including double die obverses and reverses. This one looks like it could be an oddball RPM, could be. Kind of thinking maybe not, but that southeast thing looks kind of interesting. I'm going to leave it out for Eric to take a look at it, see what he thinks about it. But the show where we sell spots in these rolls is coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern Time this evening. And then directly after that, we're going to go over this week's rolls that were not broadcast. And then we have another show coming up on Tuesday. Tuesday will be the Coin Night live auction, hosted by yours truly. I'll be auctioning off singles, varieties, rolls, and other Lincoln Cent related and other coin related items. Those are usually always fun. Well, they're always fun for a lot of people. Usually always fun for me because I don't lose too much money. But when I start selling some of this stuff, I sell it at below what I start stuff at below what I paid for it, hoping that I will reap a little bit of profit reward on those. And most of the time I do, but sometimes some of the stuff I put up for auction ends up selling for below my cost. But that's okay. I like to share. Share. I share with you snow in the southeast during winter. It is a very rare event that would get snow this far south and east in the United States. In fact, expecting some icy weather as far south as Jacksonville, Florida. You can see here that the typical inhabitant of this area, the natural people of indigenous southeastern United States, typically only have flip-flops and short sleeves to wear outdoors, and at this time they're wrapping sheets and socks around their feet and taping their flip-flops to their feet so they will have winter shoes to wear while navigating the snowy terrain. No game this week. There will not be. The game that you're talking about is oh, look at that. RPM number 47 for Frosty. We have an RPM number 47, which means that we could also find other goodies, but this is a number 47 for Frosty. 1mm 47. We won't be doing a game this week. There won't be a drawing. There won't be a mystery pull this week. That will come next week when I'm not doing an auction. I have decided to go down to an auction every other week, not every week. So I'll only be doing an auction every other week. We will begin relatively soon as we can get it all set up, doing an auction on Sundays on the weeks that I'm not doing an auction. So there will be an auction every week. Be Tuesday one week, Sunday the next week, and the Sunday auctions will be hosted by Mickey Fur. Don't appreciate the weather report. Currently driving Houston to Memphis. That's going to be a hairy drive through Louisiana. Once you get up closer to Memphis, I think that you're only looking at maybe some flurries and not a whole lot of accumulating snow. They've already gotten their accumulating snow for this couple of week period of time. I went to high school in Memphis, Tennessee. And that snowstorm that I was talking about was on the 3rd of January, 1986 in Memphis, Tennessee. Ended up with over 20 inches of snow that day. And it turned into a nightmare. There were people leaving their cars sitting in the middle of intersections because they were stuck. They couldn't get out. They didn't know how to get their cars out of the snow. There's another 47 for you right there. RPM number 47. Southeast spread. Nice looking one. And the temperature was really low for a few days, and we actually had almost a week with pretty cold weather. Yeah, so there you go. Southern Coin Hunter, 4 to 8 inches of snow in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. When was the last time you've seen 4 to 8 inches of snow in Baton Rouge, Louisiana? Or I could speak it the regular Acadian ways. Baton Rouge. Red Stick. Old Dan lives in that Baton Rouge as well. He says never in 33 years has he seen 4 to 8 inches of snow in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's some talk that between Baton Rouge and Slidell, which is north of Lake Pontchartrain, east toward Mississippi, some areas in that swath will receive up to 1 foot of snow. That is one of those it's never happened things. All the gators are just going to stay down in the water like they usually do. Most of the time, gators in the wintertime, anytime it's below 65, 70 degrees outside, they stay underwater, all except for a few seconds out of every 45 minutes. And those few seconds, they just come up for air and they go back down. They sit on the bottom pretty much all the time, sitting down there resting, holding their breath, just like they usually do. Let's see, what do we get in this one? I'm excited to see the rest of this roll because that 47 generally means that you're going to find some other goodies. I'm not going to announce which ones because then I'll spike the roll where it won't happen. So I jinx everything I talk about. So I'm just going to keep looking. We've got 10 more coins to go, numbers 41 through number 50. And we're going to see if we do see any of the goodies. Stay tuned here briefly because we could actually run into some nice stuff. But we may not. And so I'm just not going to announce it until we get there. How to bounce back from a bad night's sleep. That's what's on the news right now. I don't know. I have to question sometime what's a good night's sleep because I don't think I've had a good night's sleep since 1988. Oh, once in a while I get a good solid night of sleep. But that's kind of rare. once out of every month or two. No, sir, they are not doubled dies. What are you looking into, Trip? What are you thinking? And I will respond in kind. There are a few different parts of the 1961D or 61D that kind of maybe look doubled, but they're not. The 9. No, I don't see anything on the 9 on any of these, but I will stop at the next one and we'll take a better look. Has the butt, that butt shape? Well, you like fat butts and you cannot lie? What are we talking about here? The butt shape. I am unfamiliar, good sir. I do not know what a butt shape is. That. Okay. That. We're looking at that. Are we talking about this little bit of doubling that's on the inside of the 9 right up here? That is master die doubling. That is known on pretty much all 1961 Lincoln cents to some degree. I don't know what other. Are we talking about the top of the 6 up here? It's got this extra little thingy on it. That's also part of the master die doubling. Master die doubling is also generally visible up here on the top of the O. There's an extra little separation right up here on the top of the O. That's a very common thing for 1961. Also very common for 1961 is to have a little bit of extra thickness. Anywhere in Liberty, it can show up. Sometimes you'll see something that looks like a little step on the top of the bar of the L there. That is also part of the master die doubling. Nope, to find a real double die in 1961 is actually rather kind of difficult to do. But no, it's not. It is doubling. It is doubling to the extent that it is the same type of thing that is known on dies as hub doubling or doubled dies. But because it happened to the master die, it was transferred over to all of the working hubs that master die made, which in effect gets transferred to all of the working dies. This one looks like it's RPM number 5. This could be RPM number 5, which is a D over D over D, north and north. Eric, can you help me with this one? Is this number 5 or number 8? I think it's number 5. Yeah, but that's not actually hub doubling, Trip. It's master die doubling, which is hub doubling, but because it transfers over to all of its working hubs, thus all of its working dies, or all of their working dies, you end up with probably half of all coins for the year with that sort of doubling. So yeah, it's a double die, but it's not something that has any value. Eric says it could be a late number 8. What I'm looking at are these little humps. This little guy right here and this little guy right up here. I know of a couple of RPMs that show partial Ds in those areas. Number 7, I think, is the one I'm thinking about. And this one could be that. So we're going to leave it on the stack of varieties. So Eric will have a good chance to see one of these and see exactly what we're talking about. It is an LDS of RPM number 7. This is for Carl. It's 1961 D RPM number 7. I think I have skipped over at least one of these before. So Eric, you're going to have to kind of keep your eyeballs open when you're going through the roll. Look for the additional examples of this because I think I've seen it a couple of times already in this roll. We so far knowingly have number 47 and number 7 in this roll. We could have others. I have probably about a third of the roll pulled out as either RPMs or possible RPMs. Possible meaning I don't know which ones they are, if they are, and I can't tell at this angle and exactly what I'm looking for and how I'm doing it. Can't tell whether or not all the coins I'm pulling are actually RPMs. So I'm doing it for everything I think could be, and we'll round it down from there. Well, we got high temperature today of 36 degrees, a low temperature tonight of 20. Very unusual for this part of the country. What have I done here? We have an extra coin in this roll. Huh. Well, the last one will stay with the tube, I guess. Tuba. Got nothing on that one. That's number 48. Now number 49. Number 49 goes to Stan Horn. And that will be this coin right here. Don't forget, everybody here, we do have a number of new videos coming out on the channel. These are actually recorded and uploaded videos. They're not lives. You can find them on the videos section of the Copper Coins channel and watch them. The first one that I did was of the large and small date 1970 S Lincoln cents. Very easy way to tell the difference between the two, and not the enigmatic way of calling it level 7 blah 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 that other books have in the past that did nothing more than confuse people. This one's a very clear, very easy way of telling the difference between the two. And then the next video is of the close AM and the wide AM transition of 1992 to 1993, discusses the difference between them and how you can tell, and then tells you the different issues and rarities of known examples. Give you a chance to really rack up big if you happen to find some of them, which can be worth over $1,000 a piece. That's all we've got in this roll, though. Go out, search for those videos, like and subscribe, hit the notification button. I appreciate you guys showing up. Come back at 7 p.m. We'll talk about that show and all the rolls I've got coming up for this next week. I'm going to show you a stack of names that we have pulled for this roll so far. There's Paul, I.T., Jared, Sureg, Trip, Sloppy, Sureg, Dirty Water, Chubby Pop Chaser, Frosty, Taco John, Dirty Water, Carl, and Carl. Looks like Sureg has stuck his nose just about everywhere he can in the rolls today. Let's see here. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate it. We are done for the day with the reveals. I've got a reveal coming up with Eric a little bit later on today. And then the reveal show at 7 p.m. I'll see you there. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.